Hi everybody, another food prep day today. It's Monday. As you know, I have Mondays off, so this is when I get all the food prep done for the week. So today we're doing a pressure cooker pot roast. So pot roasts usually take a long time to do, hours over the in the stove and all that. But with the pressure cooker, it makes it really simple and quick. Also frees up space in the stove to do other things that you may need that for. So let's get started. All right, got everything ready for the pot roast here. So we have the chuck roast. Usually buy a chuck roast at Costco, looks like a small piece of meat here for a family of 6. But essentially, we're going to use this as a to go over the top of roasted vegetables or something like that. In fact, I'm doing a sautéed purple cabbage that this is going to go over the top of. So the purple cabbage is going to be the main part of the meal. This is more like a sauce or a dressing that's going to go over the top. Got the usual suspects here: carrots, onions, some celery. Notice I got the carrots and onions chopped up really fine because that's going to be part of the pot roast sauce. Celery, I'm going to pull those out once it's done, so I want those nice and big, easy to find. Have some bay leaves and some thyme there, as well as some black peppercorns. Those are going to go into this little paper tea bag that I found. So really cool for putting things like that in there so they don't get lost in the sauce and they're hard to fish out. To richen up the sauce, we've got a little bit of tomato paste here. I keep my tomato paste in a plastic bag in the freezer, so squish it out. They come in those cans, and those you never need the whole can, so I usually squish it out, put it in a plastic bag, and put it in the freezer and sort of break off what I need. And then I have about 3 cloves of garlic. I've chopped garlic in there in my little acorn strainer. Once again, make it easy to pull out. So I'm going to cook everything up. To make the sauce, I'm actually going to use a base of the chicken stock that you saw me make a few weeks ago. So we're using that chicken stock from that really good chicken from a few weeks ago. Using some coconut aminos, which actually brings a little bit of sweetness to the sauce, and then some sherry vinegar to bump up the acidity if it's needed. This is actually something I'm trying today for the first time, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to test out the sauce, see what it tastes like before I actually put it in, because you want to make sure it tastes good before you put your pot roast in there. Okay, so we'll get started cooking. Okay, so I'm getting started with the pot roast now, and the pressure cooker is heating up, getting ready to saute or sear the beef and then saute the vegetables and everything like that. While that's heating up, I'll talk about the liquid that I'm going to put in. So I've got the chicken stock there. Most places, most restaurants, most cookbooks will say use beef stock. Chicken stock's what I have on hand, so that's what I'm going to wind up using. To liven that up a little bit, and I did heat up the chicken stock. You don't want to be tasting this when it's cold. It might not do you any good. I'm adding a little bit of coconut aminos, and this is my first time trying this particular sauce. So I'm just going to taste it, see what it tastes like. Okay, so that coconut aminos, that little dab that I put in there, actually sweetened that up quite nicely. To balance that out, I'm going to put in a little bit of sherry vinegar just to add a little bit of acidity to it. Whoops, getting it all over the place. Okay, we'll see how that tastes. Because of course, we want that to taste good. Actually, too much acidity in there, so I'm going to balance that out with a little bit of sweetness from the coconut aminos again. Okay, so this is how you figure out if things are balanced or not. You should be able to taste all those components in there without them overpowering each other. Oh yeah, that's good. So that's, essentially that's going to be the liquid I'm going to use. You'll notice that there's not a lot of liquid in there. With pressure cooking, you're going to wind up with a lot more liquid when you finish than when you started. It's all going to come out of the vegetables, out of the beef and everything like that. So I'm going to start with a low amount of liquid in there. Because you'll wind up with a lot more. Okay, so let's get started cooking the beef. Okay, so the pot roast is done. See, fall apart tender there. That's kind of what you want. Okay, so now we're going to take all the stuff out. Okay, so that's simmering away there. I've mixed a little over a tablespoon of arrowroot powder. I'm stumbling over that word, arrowroot powder, with some cold water. And when I put this into the pot there, you'll see it immediately thicken up. So this is a way to thicken up sauces, gravies, things like that. Okay, so you'll see, there it goes. Okay, so it gives you a nice thick sauce there. So it's definitely changed the composition of that sauce. So we'll turn that down. Okay, and that is pretty much ready to go. I'm going to add back in the carrots, onions into that. Okay, so I've got the beef that I've just torn into chunks there, the pot roast, and I'm just going to pour that sauce into the pot here. The pan is hot, so that hurt a bit. So what we would do is set this aside and have this over, roasted vegetables. We're doing it with some sauteed cabbage later on this week, but as I'm getting ready to dish that up, I just throw a little bit of chopped up thyme, some parsley over the top to finish that off, maybe a little bit of black pepper, but that is ready to go.